It's clear that the Parliament has demonstrated an overwhelming support to the rights of the Belarusian people and a broad support to the actions taken by the European Union institutions at all levels so far. I took note of the Parliament's September resolution on Belarus, and your recommendations today are more than welcome as a further substantive contribution to our work. I agree with you. Unfortunately, the situation on the ground in Belarus has not improved. There has been and continues to be a brutal crackdown against citizens, journalists, and against members of the Coordination Council itself. The Interior Minister recently authorized to use lethal force, and the increasing levels of violence against protesters are extremely worrying. They are sending extremely worrying signs, but also signs of desperation on the side of authorities, aware as they are of the unwavering commitment of Belarusians to a democratic future of their country. Dear members of the European Parliament, you know very well that the European Union has firmly rejected the falsified results of the 9th of August presidential elections. We did that at the Foreign Affairs Council, they did that at the European Union Council, and the Commission also has joined its voice to this choir. And we have clearly said that Aleksandr Lukashenko lacks any democratic legitimacy. We say about him the worst thing that one can say about someone who wants to govern a country. You lack democratic legitimacy for doing so. We don't recognize you as the legitimate president of Belarus. I want to stress that and repeat it again solemnly on the sitting of the European democracy. We have now adopted sanctions against 40 Belarusian officials responsible for violence, repression, and election falsification. We did that a couple of weeks ago, but since the situation in Minsk continues to deteriorate and there seems to be limited prospects for a dialogue, I'm saying limit for not saying not at all, the Council gave its political green light to start the preparation of a next sanctions package. At that time, it includes also Aleksandr Lukashenko himself. The technical work started immediately after the Council, and it will be finished soon. No member state put any kind of obstacle to that. The comprehensive Council conclusions we adopted on the past 12th of October sent a clear message that the conduct of these elections has had an adverse effect on the European Union-Belarus relations, and we have also stated that business as usual is no longer possible. So our relations with Belarus are on the way of being re-examined. At the same time, and in line with your recommendation, we have reiterated that the European Union stands in solidarity and will step up support to the civil society. I also had the opportunity of conveying this message in a phone call I had with the Foreign Affairs Minister of Belarus. We have also emphasized that the European Union stands ready to support a meaningful democratic transition in Belarus, and we are working on a comprehensive economic support package that the European Union institutions will be ready to offer to a new democratic Belarus. The European Union remains united in its assessment of the situation and the actions that have to be taken, as I made it clear once again when I spoke to the Foreign Minister Mackay on 9th of October, 10 days ago. All member states continue to call on the Belarusian authorities to end violence and repression, release all detainees and political prisoners, and respect media freedom. The attempts by the Belarusian authorities to target certain EU member states by asking them to reduce their diplomatic representation in Minsk will not weaken our unity. Dear members, I share your view clearly expressed in the recommendation that only an inclusive national dialogue with the broader society, in particular with the Coordination Council, can lead to a peaceful and sustainable solution of the crisis. We continue to support the proposal for our OSCE mission to facilitate this dialogue, and we are promoting such an approach with all international actors. But I have to say that, to my regret, the Belarusian authorities are not responsive at all. In French, we would say, ils sont aux abonnés absents. No answer. The people's patience is running out, as we have seen by the call of Mrs. Tsikhanouskaya for certain actions to be taken by 25th of October. We admire the perseverance and determination of the peaceful demonstrators facing threats, intimidation, and violence, and call on them to remain peaceful and not to fall into provocations. I know it should be difficult, but I think this is the best thing they can do. In this difficult period for the Belarusian people, we continue our full support for their democratic right to elect their president through new, free and fair elections under OSCE observation. I have to thank to all of you again for your detailed recommendation in Belarus. It's an important contribution and an important support for our work. Thank you.
Herzlichen Dank. Dann erteile ich jetzt das Wort für die EVP-Fraktion dem Kollegen Kubilius für 1 Minute 30.